Hey, good people. Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome to another Two for Tuesday Grief and Motivation Talk. Today's topic we're going to talk about is taking it one day at a time, and every season has its purpose. Before we get started, hey, if you are in a situation where you are grieving the loss of your loved one and you're looking for some resources to begin the healing process, I've got one for you. So it is the I Will Live Again bundle. Completely free. I'm giving you the Live Again bundle that includes some journaling prompts and some information that's going to help you start to unpack where you are to get you where you want to be. Grief is a monster, okay? I can't even sugarcoat that. I want you to know that it is tough. But with the proper tools and with taking some time to actually do some self-work, I promise you there is a life after loss. I am a testimony to this. So head over to the I Will Live Again, iwillliveagain.com, where you can download the Live Again bundle, and it will start you on your journey to getting towards that healing that you deserve. .com. Just want to drop this here for you. All right, so before we start into the actual 2 points for today, I just wanted to give a transparent moment. I want you to know that with grief, there's going to be some ups and downs, some hills, some valleys, some wins, some losses, okay? So last Tuesday, I was not on live for Two for Tuesday. And this is because I unfortunately had hit a rough patch. So with this pandemic and everything that's going on, it began to take its toll on me mentally. And so last Tuesday, I just couldn't find it. And it's going to happen with this grief and loss journey. I have to be honest with you and share that is the case. But what I want you to know is that you can get through it and you can pick right back up where you left off. So on Tuesday, when I just didn't feel it, and it was tough for me to get out of the bed, and I had all of these unwavering thoughts that were going on that, I'm not good enough. What am I doing wrong? Why is life still beating me up? As those thoughts were hitting me, I had to get to a place where, okay, Kenesha, you may be feeling these things right now, but you've got to tell yourself that you are more than this. Remember all of the things that you've accomplished in the past. You can't focus on where you are right now. We've got to look towards the future. And so if you have found yourself in a rough patch and, you're like, why can't I shake this? And what's going on? And why am I, struggling like this? I want you to remember that be gentle on yourself. Allow yourself to feel the feelings. There's nothing wrong with feeling the feelings. We just don't want to stay there, okay? The idea is not to stay in that place. We want to get to a place where we're journaling forward and we're moving forward in the midst of what we're going through, okay? So you got to dig deep. You got to remember who you are, remember whose you are, so that way you can persevere forward. So I just wanted to share that with you. It was on my heart to be transparent. I've created my platform to be as such. I want to make sure that the things that I share with you, I am being as impactful as I can, and the only way I can do that is by being truthful and honest. So for today's Two for Tuesday, as you know, we get started with a quick word out of my Prayers for Strength and Healing book. And so today is August the 25th, and today's word says, you were given the dreams you dream by a God who knew that you had that had strength and fortitude to make them come true. Go forth in his love and believe in you. You can do this. I'll say that again. You were given dreams by the God who knew that you had the strength and the fortitude to make them come true. Go forth in his love and believe in you. You can do this. So what this says to me is, man, we think about all the different things that we want to accomplish, our goals, financial goals, spiritual goals. We want a vacation when we want to live where we want, drive what we want. We have all of these big dreams, goals, and aspirations for our life. But do you know that we serve a God that actually really just loves to make those blessings and those dreams come to pass? Do you know that we serve a God that says that I want to support you, I want to give you the desires of your heart, I want to show you my goodness, I want you to live your best life here on this side of the earth? I want you to remember this, because it's so difficult to get caught up in the negative. It's easy to get caught up in the, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm able to do this. You know, do I have all the resources to make my dreams come to pass? That's not your job. Your job is to believe and to put forth the work and the effort and allow God to bless your work, okay? In the Bible it says faith without works is dead. So you have to believe. You got to give God something to work with. Okay, you can't just, think these things and then just lay back and say, okay, well, I'm just going to wait for him to do it. That's not necessarily how it works. Okay, majority of our blessings are going to come because God sees us moving. He sees us persevering through adversity. He sees us, talking about it, getting good counsel, if that's getting a life coach or a business coach, enrolling in a course or a class, doing all of these different things to strengthen our minds and our spirits to prepare us for that dream to come to pass. And so as long as God sees you moving, he sees you working, then he's like, you know what, my child, in faith believes that this is going to happen. Let me bless that thing that she's working on. Let me go in and shift some people around. Let me cause her to come in alignment with certain people. That way, when she sends that email, and that other person on the other side that she doesn't even know says, you know what, I'm going to give them an opportunity. That's how God works. He wants us to trust him enough to go forward, so that way on the other side, he's working it out. He's making everything come to pass. He's lining up those divine connections. I'll tell you a really quick story. So I enrolled into or I signed up for a webinar platform, and I enjoyed it. And I was on a trial, and I completely forgot to, no, take that back. I didn't forget. I reminded myself to exit out of the trial the same day that they decided to charge me. Now, this company is over in Australia. And so when I woke up, I saw that I had a significant amount of money that had came out of my account. And I, try to call. Of course, they're out of the country, so there's no number. Everything is via email. So I had to do the chat. And I was like, hey, look, I've already had a reminder to delete this, to cancel my trial. But you guys, because you're so many hours ahead of me, you went ahead and did it before I even had a chance to wake up and do it. And so, of course, they try to, say, well, we're sorry. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. But let me tell you, I would be upset and in panic mode. And I said, you know what? This happened on Sunday, too. I said, you know what? Let me give it to God. I have to. I said, because me worrying about it is going to do nothing for the situation. Me getting upset, being mad at my husband, taking it out on my kid and my dog, being angry about it just didn't do anything. I said, okay, I'm going to pray about it. And I said, okay, God, if they're going to keep the money, then hey, I got the subscription for another 30 days. I'll just have to come up with a webinar to use it and make sure that I get my money's worth. Or I'm going to trust and believe that these people are going to honor the fact that you're in Australia and I'm in the United States. I wasn't very active on that platform. I only used it once, and I'm just going to hope, trust, and believe that they're going to take care of it. Since they're in Australia, I got an email from them. I guess it would be in the middle of the night. So Monday morning, the lady, her name is Anna, she emailed back and she said, well, I can tell that you only used it once. You wasn't very active. You have canceled it. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and give you your money back. It's not something that we normally do, but we're going to do it. I paused and I cried because I said, I remembered how good my God is. I remembered that if I turn over my worries over to him, he is promised that he's going to take care of me. And he honored it. And you have to throw it back in God's face, some of his promises. The promises of God, you will never leave me nor forsake me, right? My God shall supply all of my needs. A lot of the times, that's how I talk to him. I don't, go really deep in my prayers and these and thous and wits, and I don't do all that. Sometimes you just got to say, look, Lord, okay, you said in your word that you would never leave me nor forsake me. You said in your word that you will supply all my needs. You said in your word that if my mother and my father shall forsake me, that you shall be with me. Okay? You made all of these promises. We know God can't lie, so we just have to trust him and believe that he is going to hold us up. So I just wanted to impart that little piece of wisdom onto you on 2 for Tuesday. Like I said, I usually do my prayers for strength and healing book, and today's for, I see a couple people who have just joined us. Welcome. I'll read to you what today's passage was out of my prayers and healing book. So for August 25th, I read it straight from today. It says, you were given the dreams you dreamed by a God who knew you had the strength and the fortitude to make the dreams come true. Go forth in his love and believe in you. You can do this. All right? Whatever dreams and desires that you have in your heart, we serve a God that has promised that he is going to take care of us and he is going to see those dreams come to pass on this side. Okay? We don't have to wait till we get to glory. We can live an abundant life here on this side. So our 2 for Tuesday points, and I'm gonna keep it moving. I usually try to do 2 points, so a grief point and a motivational point. That's what 2 for Tuesdays came about. You know, I figured that Tuesdays was a time that it's not at the beginning of the week where we're excited for Mondays and we've got things to do, and it's sure enough not close to the weekend to be excited to relax. Tuesdays has always just been kind of a blah day for me. It was like, I don't have too much to do, can't quite see the weekend. And so I chose to do Tuesdays because I want you to have something to be excited for. You know, while you're on this grief journey, it can become a dark, narrow hole that you go down. And I want you to have something to look forward to. So that's why I am committed to every Tuesday, around 12 o'clock, 12:30ish. I was late today. I'm a college professor, so we had a couple of meetings, so I was a little late. But I want to be committed that every Tuesday around 12 noon, that you can join me on here and we can talk and we can, I'll share a passage with you and give you 2 points that will just kind of comfort you and help you to get through this grief journey that you may be experiencing right now. And so my 2 points for today are take it one day at a time, and every season has a purpose. So take it one day at a time. Literally, this is the mantra from the day that I became an orphan to now. Literally, you got to take life one day at a time. I am in therapy, and I'm proud to be in it. I'm glad that I've come back into it. But my therapist actually had to remind me of this, with this pandemic that we're in, and everything that is happening around us, the elections and the injustice against unarmed black men and women, and losing jobs, and for me the sports industry. It's just so much. It's so much that we're going through right now. And she just had to remind me that you've got to take it one day at a time. We know as believers that tomorrow is not promised. So what good is it for us to worry about what's next month? September. Why should we worry about September 1st and paying September's first rent if we might not even be alive to see it? Now, wouldn't that be a tragedy for me to be sitting here and worry, how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to do this? How am I? And obviously we don't wish death, of course, but just every day is not promised. And we know that. And so we've got to take this thing one day at a time. God says in his word that he gives us strength for this day. Give us our daily bread, not our week bread, not our month bread, our daily bread. And so I've had to step back the last couple of days and just remind myself, Kenesha, you cannot focus on, the far future. Now, should you plan and be strategic and be, mindful of certain things? Of course. But the day-to-day worries, it does no good. It serves no purpose. And so while you're in your grief journey right now, and I just want you to remember to take things one day at a time. All right. Think about this day. Think about getting up out of the bed, taking a shower, eating a well-balanced meal, getting some sunlight, exercising. Those little things help you get through the day. And then you go to bed at night, and then the next day comes and we're going to do it all over again. So I just want you to be gentle with yourself and just remember, I'm taking this one day at a time. Sometimes even when I lost my mom, it was 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. The grief was so bad that I couldn't see past that hour because I was so consumed with it. And gradually, you will do better, and you will come through, and you will elevate. But if it goes to 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, do that. All right? I want you to make sure that you're taking time for yourself, that you are doing some self-care, if that's journaling, if that's taking a shower, if that's eating a meal, if that's doing whatever the things that you enjoy doing to put a smile on your face. You cannot take that for granted. All right? So take things one day at a time. And then my second point for today is every season has a purpose. And this kind of comes right back into this pandemic. Literally, we don't know what the end is going to be of this. We thought back in March it wasn't going to last this long, and here we are in late August, and we're still in this, and things don't seem to be getting better. But guess what? There is a reason for this season that we're going through, and it's going to be up to you to decide, what does this season mean for you? Does this mean that I was able to spend more time with my family because I'm working from home now? Does this mean that, you have birthed a new idea or a new way of walking into your purpose in this season? Does this mean that, hey, you know what? I'm just going to take it easy. I'm just going to let God be God in this season and follow whatever direction He's given me. That's what we have to continue to remember, that whatever we're going through, whatever that season is, there is a purpose in it. Now, God doesn't always reveal that purpose in the beginning. I can tell you that, it took 10 years for God to reveal to me why He allowed me to lose my parents at 21. So some seasons take time, but guess what? He will. When the moment is right and He knows that you can handle the answer, okay? Because sometimes we can't handle it. Sometimes if He was to unload on us exactly what His reasons were, we'd be like, oh, who are you? So sometimes He just kind of sits back and lets us process it. And then in time, in due season, He reveals those reasons why. And so for me, my journey was 10 years. It took God 10 years to reveal that I would be alive in the world today during this pandemic to be able to confidently speak to you. And so you just got to remember that whatever season that you're going through, hills and valleys, highs and lows, that there is a reason behind it. All of our wins have a reason, and our losses have a reason as well. And so I just want you to be mindful of this. I just want you to process and think things through. Just to definitely understand that whatever we're going through, God has a reason. God's going to always get the glory out of it. In some time, in some way, He will get the glory. Okay? A lot of the times what we go through is not for us. I had to realize that, my pain and my journey was not for me. It was to be able to be a testimony of His goodness, that as long as I trust Him and kept my faith in Him, that He would supply my needs and He would see me through this to the other side. And so that kind of wraps up everything for today. If there's any questions, feel free to drop them. I see you guys chatting in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to share this with anyone. Again, like I said, 2 for Tuesday is going to be right here around 12-ish. Thank you, Orphan-ish. We're going to be here around 12-ish. Just to chit chat, to talk. I just want to, let you know that I'm here for you. I am here as a support, just as a living testimony. I'm going to continue to, put out different things where I can say and help you and give you some motivation and some talk. I also put in the chat as well. Let me go back up and pin it. If you are looking for a resource to help you get through this season, I've got a free Live Again bundle at iwillliveagain.com. It's where I've just kind of compiled some information, some journaling, some self-care tips where you can download and just begin to use these at your leisure. All right, I see my grandmother here. How you doing? Thank you for joining. But yeah, I just want you to know that I am here with you. God's got you no matter what. And one last thing. So I haven't put up the link yet. It's coming. I did a 5-day beginners journaling challenge a couple of weeks ago, and it went really, really well. And so I'm going to do another journaling challenge, but I'm going to do this specific for us, for my people who are experiencing some grief and loss right now. Journaling was one of the tools that I used while I was going through my season. I did therapy. I was institutionalized, unfortunately, because I thought life wasn't worth living. But in those moments, I was experiencing journaling, and it was a world of good for me. And so I've been doing it a lot here lately, and I've been sharing, these tools to be able to get all of those things that you're thinking in your heart and in your mind out on paper. You might not be in a position where you can invest in a therapist, or you might not just want to go, which is fine. But you do need a way to be able to unload and to release those things that you're feeling inside. And so my goal is by tonight, I'm going to have that link up. It's going to be completely free. I'm going to do another 5-day journaling challenge, but specifically for getting through grief and loss. And so when you see that, I'll post it a little later. If you see that you're interested, it'll be in my link in my bio. You can sign up. I want you to join me. I want you to come hang out with me. All right? If there are no questions, I want to tell you thank you again for just hopping on with me again. I hope to see you next Tuesday right here for Grief and Loss Talk, 2 for Tuesday motivation. All right? I will talk to you soon. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.